do some concept checks. Oh, we are running way ahead of schedule. So here is an example game. We talked about washing the dishes before. Let's do that now. Let's say that me and my husband, we both have some dishes in the sink. This certainly has nothing to do with real life circumstances at the present moment. We have some options. We can either wash the dishes, we can not wash the dishes, or we can soak the dishes, or we just put some water in them and say, we'll do that later. So we got some payouts here based on our different preferences over how much we dislike having dishes in the sink. So what I'd like you to do is try to figure out what is our Nash equilibrium, figure out what are all the best responses, both for me and for my husband, and then what Nash equilibrium are we likely to end up in. There might be more than one as well. Notice, by the way, this is our first game that has more than 2 options. That's totally fine. You can have as many options as you like for a particular game. And the exact same steps apply.
Is the work split up? It's like you each do half the dish.
I mean, yeah, I guess if we both choose the same, if we both choose wash or we both choose soap, then yeah, you could think of that as maybe being split in half.
Okay.
I mean, that's not like the definition game theory wise or something like that, but I mean, really, I mean, this is a math problem, and I've arbitrarily labeled these things to give it a story, so you can imagine however you want.
Okay.
All right, let's go through this, figure out what we're going to do. So first of all, we're going to go row by row, and then we're going to go column by column, all figuring out our best responses each time. So first of all, let's imagine that we are picking our best responses, or my best responses at least. So if we think that my husband is going to wash the dishes, what is my best response? Anybody? Yeah. Don't. Yes, exactly. So if I wash as well, I'm going to get 3. If I don't, I'm going to get 5. If I soak them, I'm going to get 4. 5 is the best of these, so I'm going to circle 5 for myself. So if my husband washes the dishes, I want to not wash the dishes. That is my best response. How about if I think my husband is not going to wash the dishes? What is my best response? Washing or soaking. Yeah, I have 2 best responses here, which is totally legit, right? I do equally fine either washing or soaking in the case where my husband does not wash the dishes. So that's totally fine. What does this mean? It doesn't mean that I do both. It means that either one would be a best response. When later we are thinking, where's our Nash equilibrium? Either of those could be the thing that I am doing that my husband is having the best response to. How about if my husband soaks the dishes? What do I want to do? What's my best response? Wash them. Yeah, 2 is what I get if I wash. If I don't, I get -1. If I soak them, I get 0. So 2 is my best response then. All right, let's flip it around. We always want to be sure to do both sides. So if I wash the dishes, what is my husband's best response? Don't. Yes, exactly. If I wash them, he could wash them as well and get 3. Not wash them and get 5, or soak them and get 4. 5 is the best of these. I'm going to circle that one as well. Unsurprisingly, this game is the same either direction, so we're going to have the exact same outcome both for him and for me. If I don't wash the dishes, he can either wash them and get 1, not wash them and get 0, soak them and get 1. 1 are equally good options, so he can either wash them or soak them. Either would be a best response. If he thinks that I'm going to soak them, he can either wash them and get 2, not wash them and get -1, soak them and get 0. So washing them is the best of these. So now we've ended up with 2 places where we have circled both of the payouts. Those are going to be our Nash equilibria. Either one works. Either I wash them and he doesn't, or he washes them and I don't. Either would be a Nash equilibrium. If we find ourselves in one of those spots, then neither of us would want to change our behavior. That, of course, leaves the question, which one of these do we end up in? And the answer is Nash equilibrium does not tell us. It tells us that we're probably going to end up in one of these if we play it enough. Hopefully, for my sake, I hope that we end up in the one where he washes the dishes. Hopefully, for his sake, we end up in the one where I wash the dishes. But we might even end up in a situation where we switch back and forth as we play this game over and over. We'll talk about that next time. We do know that we have some Nash equilibria. We don't necessarily know which one we're going to end up. I'll give you another tip, by the way, for solving these out. A good tip is every time you think you found a Nash equilibrium, you can test whether it's the right answer very easily. So let's say that we got it wrong. Let's say that we thought that neither of us washing the dishes was the Nash equilibrium, right? Whatever we do, we go through all this step, we end up with the Nash equilibrium, don't wash, don't wash. Now I can tell you that that's wrong, right? We found out that that's wrong, but how would you know that that was wrong if that was the answer that you found? Let's test it out. So if we think that our Nash equilibrium is don't wash, right here, all we have to do to show that it's not a Nash equilibrium is to show that one of us, at least one of us, would want to change our behavior if that's where we ended up. Not both of us, but one of us by ourselves, right? So we're right here, and the question is, can one of us make ourselves better off by moving? Well, can I make myself better off by moving? Yes. If we're here, I make myself better off if I went here. I also make myself better off if I went here, right? So I can make myself better off by moving. So clearly this is not going to be a Nash equilibrium. We can also go in the other direction. Can he make himself better off by moving? Yes, he could go here. That'd be better for him. Or he could go here. That would also be better for him. So wherever you think you found an answer, you can check it by just seeing if somebody wants to move from that spot. And if they do, you have not yet found a Nash equilibrium. Any questions on that? Yeah.
Are we gonna be given like values and then have to make the table ourselves?
Could be, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, were they given the numbers?
Yes, yeah. I mean, at most, I might be like, there are very few situations which I would not have to give you the numbers to be able to solve this.